first annual Roblox tournament was held, with 8 of the world's most powerful robots. But Mr. X, the sponsor of the tournament, took control of the robots and began to take over the world. Mr. X, why? It's time to tell you the truth. I have been manipulating that fool Dr. Wily from the very beginning. But now I no longer need Wily's help. Come and face me, Mega Man. I'll stop you. Follow me, Rush. And yeah, Mega Man 6. The main plot for this game is that, supposedly after the events of 5, Dr. Wily is nowhere to be seen, and as a result, there is a new robotics tournament to hold to see which robot is the strongest within the world, held by a mysterious benefactor known as Mr. X. And during the tournament, things go haywire as Mr. X takes control of 8 of the world's strongest robots, sans Mega Man. And because of that, Mr. X claims that he's been manipulating Wily this whole entire time. So probably from like past previous games or whatever, he's been the one to manipulate Wily, or whatever that sort. I mean, we'll look and see for this whole thing. But, you know, let's look and see what's going on with the game, though. Because I have my doubts that this is really Mr. X, but I could be wrong. I could be dead wrong with that. But yeah, tournament gone wrong, benefactor turns out to be evil. Go face him. And so we got 8 robot masters to deal with. From all around the world, Blizzard Man, Wind Man, Flame Man, Tomahawk Man, Centaur Man, Night Man, Yamato Man, and Plant Man. Let me think which one's easiest to take on. If I remember, Flame Man is the easiest to take down. Hold on, let me fix something really quick. Okay, that'll at least do it. Because I didn't realize I had the chat peer from part 1 pop up within this doubleheader stream. That was my mistake. That is an oopsie. So just want to at least fix things from there. At the very least, you got to at least listen to Flame Man's track. Pretty good, honestly. Also, one fact I don't think I've touched upon is that for Mega Man, for Flame Man, he's one of the weapons Mega Man uses in Super Smash Bros., both within the Wii U and within Ultimate. As his down smash, he uses Flame Man's weapon as a down smash to cover him from both sides. And Mega Man's toolkit is kind of the same actually. Jump, slide, shoot, charge, shot. Although it's kind of disappointing that the charged shot sound effect is still the same as your regular uncharged sound effect. With Flame Man stage, what you need to be aware of is both the oil and flame within the name itself, because the fire is insta-kill. It's treated as a spike pit, or falling into a pit, or spike trap, or lava or whatever, and you die instantly. Like that. Like that. So I just wanted to show that off, simply for the sake of showing it off, in case if anyone's feeling risky, or whatever. Flameman himself, I believe he's from Saudi Arabia. And each weapon and each boss for this boss select screen tells you where they're from originally, as well as the weapon or element that they're the masters of. Within this game, if you charge up your buster shot and you get hurt, you immediately lose your charge. So you have to be careful and not get yourself hurt. And we got ourselves our first E-Tank of the playthrough. E-Tanks refill your health when you're low on health, and helps you out when you're in a pinch. If I'm not mistaken, I should be almost at Flameman. Yes, that is correct. I actually kind of like how they did the intros for the bots in 6. Because it kind of felt a little cool, like to have this thundering sound effect when they come down, do their little pose, and then the fight starts. With Flameman, what he does, he shoots fireballs, a series of 3 fireballs, and then a series of flame pillars at you, and he also jumps around. If I'm not mistaken, the flame pillars deflect your shots, and you have to make sure that you shoot Flameman when he's either shooting the fireballs or jumping around the entire arena. Yep, just like that. Invincible when he's shooting the top flame pillars. Ow! Ow. Wait, how many lives do I have? Okay, I have 2, so it'll be fine. Just wanted to at least check and see how many lives I had. That's all. Because I'm like, how many do I have left? How many? So it's just one last life left, and one E-Tank left. If I die, I should still be able to get another E-Tank by just retrying the level again. But Flameman's not too tough to tackle. I'd say he's kind of like the standard first level boss to take down in these games, where you get a scope of the challenge, but the boss isn't too difficult, and neither is the stage. Just gotta know what you're doing and not be reckless. Like me. Not like me, is what I should be saying, to not be so damn reckless. Ow. There we go. And just like that, we get the Flame Blast and Rush Power Adapter. Flame Blast, shoot a fireball, it erupts into a flame pillar, and in the next stage, I will show off what the Rush Power Adapter can do. Although, why don't we show this off beforehand? Lifesteal sets, Thermal Power, Master of Flame, Flame Man, set within an oil field. And all this nice little stuff about height, attack, weight, difference, all that stuff. It's pretty cute. If I'm not mistaken, it's either Blizzard Man or Plant Man for weaknesses, but Blizzard Man is more reliable. So Energy, Frozen Island, Master of Snow, Blizzard Man. And instead of the Rush Jet and Coil like last time, with the last 3 games or so, you get a Power Adapter and become Power Mega Man. You shoot energy balls from your fists. The only downside is that you can't slide. The charge shot of this form is shorter than usual than your average shots. And yeah. But at the very least, you don't have to worry about replenishing weapon ammo. Because this is the one time where you don't have to worry about replenishing weapon ammo for this one. So let's go back to normal form. Oh, Chris! Happy to meet you again. Favorite NES game? Oh, really? What makes it your favorite out of all 6 of them on the NES? Because I'm actually curious to at least see what your thoughts of them are. Extra life from my troubles. Now let me fix something up. Okay, that should be good. Ow. With these little hockey pucks, they bounce back and forth between the wall. Wait for them to get out of the wall. Flame Man's weapon helps with melting these pillars of pure ice. Ow. There we go. Oop. Ow. Oof. Ow again. And with this squid-type enemy, I guess you can call it a mini-boss? Except not really. It's like yes, but not really. Like it shoots at ice cubes, it shoots missiles that hone towards you, all that. With this room, be careful and don't rush it. Because of how much the ship rocks up and down, you have to make sure that you don't die on the spike traps. Or just die on the spikes going down. Like that. Ow. Really? Okay. Let me see if this will work. Oh, wow. Flame Blast actually works on these guys. That's pretty cool. You'd think the Flame Blast would work on these ice blocks, but they're too thick to be broken down like that. So use the power form, bring it with the charge punch, and then slide your way back before you get yourself hurt by these spikes. Let's see, Chris Fighter says, best soundtrack of the games, my honest opinion. Only soundtrack of the NES that competes for that spot is 2. Pod is great, speedrun, and it's just overall great in my opinion. Yeah, I can respect that. I can flat out respect that opinion and take. Like, it's not like I'm going to go, oh, or whatever, saying, oh, this game is bad, and your takes are bad, or whatever that sort. No. No. I feel each of these games on the NES appeals to a different person. First game has that whole first game thing where it has its baby steps, trying to establish an identity for itself. 2 is the beloved classic. 3 does some things in its own unique way. And then 4 to 6 do that same kind of thing, basically. And then 4 and 6 does their own thing, to varying results, depending on who you ask. And speaking of 6... Blizzard, man, dude. What he does, he sends blizzards after you, or he just charges at you by becoming a ball and ramming towards you. At the very least, with the flame pillar, it becomes a pillar when it hits a wall, so that's at least fine-ish enough. And second weapon obtained, Blizzard Attack. This, I feel, is okay. This is okay for a weapon. Maybe it should at least be good as a screen nuke, because it is a blizzard, and blizzards are known for being pretty dangerous and lethal. So if that's done, you know, that could at least help out with the whole blizzard thing. I mean, like, have it like a screen nuke, like it just snows down a harsh winter storm, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Sorry. Interesting how Capcom is still releasing Mega Man games on the NES, despite the NES being 8 years old at this point. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Capcom kind of did that with 1 to 6, along with X, like Mega Man X, the actual first sub-series of the franchise, because they actually saw that the classic series was actually doing gangbusters for them. Like, this is before Street Fighter, where it was Mega Man all the time, every day. All day, every day, basically. I can get some people saying it was a bit of fatigue of just releasing classic games left, right, and sideways, especially with the Game Boy games. But it was a different era back then, where you have to at least release content left, right, and sideways to make sure you didn't lose out in the end. And I feel Capcom at least kept the formula as fresh as they could as possible. And here we have Eddie, gives you an item. It could be either, it's most likely health or weapon pickups, with extra lives and E-tanks being the most rare. Being the most rare of them. But yeah, it actually just shows that Capcom really cared about the Mega Man series. Because in that time back then, Nintendo was king. Like, sure, competition eventually showed up, but Nintendo was literally the only king of gaming consoles back then, so you really had to pump out the content to not lose sales, either to Nintendo or to the competition. Come on, ow. Although nowadays, with the way of how Capcom releases Mega Man games, I think people would just prefer to at least have it be like the olden days where you see a Mega Man game on your left, and then you suddenly blink, and then blink and you miss it, and then you just see another Mega Man game right in front of you. I guess that's how some people would want it. Me personally, I would prefer if they took their time and did quality over quantity. because I feel you can make a good Mega Man game, but at the same time you can make an awful one too as well. Oh right, I forgot to talk about Plant Man's level. Master of the Plant, Gorilla Mini-Boss, use the power form to push it back, and with those springs, just be careful not to hold on to the jump button to be launched into spikes. That's about it. Although I will feel that the music has not changed a beat for how good it can be. It's consistently good for each of the 6 NES console games. Game Boy games varies. Like, I feel 1 to 5 on the Game Boy is pretty good. But at the same time... excuse me. But I feel at the same time, you could flat out have something like Mega Man 2 on the Game Boy where they just rush that thing out of the door, and it's both a cakewalk and a audio eyesore. Oh. Yep. Shots were a bit too far to not have that being registered. With those prone enemies, at least you can shoot them to take them down. If I'm not mistaken, Plant Man comes from Brazil. So like each and every single Robot Master from this game comes from a different country. With Flame Man, we had one come from like Saudi Arabia or India, if I'm not mistaken. Oh boy, that was dumb on my part. Why am I doing that? Hold the jump button to go higher instead of pressing it. That's... I kind of had it the other way around. Let's see, Plant Man 6 really bad part of Mega Man 6. With hilariously bad E-Tank placement at some parts. I'm gonna be honest, I feel 6 really isn't too tough. Like, if you know your Mega Man, then 6 is decent on the challenge ladder. If I'll be quite honest, Cress. Alright, now we take the fight to Plant Man, who jumps around, shoots his shield. Let me see. Yeah, I could just use both, because Plant Man is a plant, and the elements are not too welcoming for a plant. You can either use Flame Man's weapon... Ow. Ow. Oh, let me see here. Flame Blast. Let me see if it works. It kind of works. Kind of. But since Plant Man is a plant, the elements, particularly the cold, will not be so friendly with Plant Man, so it's kind of an obvious weakness. Like, how many plants can you think of that can thrive within blistering cold weather? None. That's what. As a Plant Man himself, he's really not too tough. On that shot, shoot him in. And there we go. But yeah, just take him down with the Blizzard attack and you'll be fine. Pineberry and Rush Jet Adapter. Alright. And yeah, I'm gonna be quite honest. I don't like the shield weapons that they do for 4 to 6. They kind of just suck. They flat out just suck because they're just one shot, and the moment it touches something even remotely small or weak, it disappears. At least with the leaf shield, it can be sturdy enough to withstand some elements. The only thing is just it moves the moment you start moving, you know? So with the plant shield, it doesn't even do that. It's still the same as Skullman's weapon in 4. Hell, at least with 5, you could at least launch the damn thing, but still, they're pretty weak. They're really not that good for weapons, if I'll be quite honest myself. It's not until later within the series that we actually get good shields. It's kind of a shame because I feel some of these shields can be worked up upon, and actually be decent shields at worst, and damn good ones at best. And this is the part where I forget which to take on next. Oh boy. Windman, maybe? Master of the Wind, Windman. Not that bad of a theme, I'll be quite honest. It's pretty cheery and chipper. And if I'm not mistaken... Japan! Yes, Windman comes from Japan because of his design. Yeah, Windman comes from Japan. It's either Japan or China for Windman. Although my money's going on Japan, China, because of the pandas and the bamboo and all that stuff. And with Windman, oh, let me at least try out this new adapter, Jet Adapter. With Jet Mega Man, oh boy. Yeah, with Jet Mega Man, you just have to hold the button up within the air. I feel it's a fine addition. It is certainly no Rush Jet from games previous. That I will die on that hill on. But I will at least get what they were trying to do for the game. Like, at least add some spice to it, because consumers at that time will obviously know that it's just, oh, another Mega Man game. Oh, what are they going to add? Barely anything. So I can at least give them credit and give them their flowers for what they were trying to do to spice things up within the series. Because, mind you, they've been releasing 6 of these damn things. Not only 6, but 11 games back to back to back within the span of just a few years. And I say 11 because I'm counting the Game Boy games on top of all of this. So at the very least, they're trying something to spice things up. Flame, Blizzard, then Plant, then Top. Oh! Oops. That's oopsie on my end, I'll be honest. But at the very least, Windman shouldn't be too hard to tackle. Dodge and avoid the big guy, the big mech. And keep on moving. Although... Windman is easy buster only. Yeah, I'll be quite honest, Chris. The only boss I can flat out feel will give you hell and an actual challenge is Tomahawk Man and Yamato Man. Every other boss, you can buster them simple. You can buster them easy GGs, all that jazz. You just have to not be so damn reckless. In other words, don't be mean. Don't be reckless. but just know what you're doing. Dodge, duck and weave. Use your buster. Like that. And Windman does the same thing that Dustman does. Uses wind to suck you in. And shoots off projectiles or something. Yamato Man is easy to buster only. Yeah, that's true. But I feel in terms of challenge within the 8 bosses, it's Yamato Man and Tomahawk Man that will give you an actual challenge. Like, sure, they could be good. Like, sure, Yamato Man can be good for the Buster Only challenge. But I feel it's at least the only one that actually gives you legit challenge to where, oh my god, what is Tomahawk Man's weakness? I need to use that thing right now because he's kicking my butt real bad. Quickman's later section is easy without Flashman's weapon. If you know what you're doing. Me, I did it first because I wanted to get it over with, and I like being on the challenging side, but it's because I knew what I was doing. Sure, I used reverse. Sure, I used rewinds a lot, but I knew what I was doing and what I was heading for. Newbie players, I'll at least say, use Flashman's weapon sparingly. And with the new weapon, we get the Windstorm. It's a small tornado that blows enemies upwards. It's fine, it's decent. It's kind of a decent little thing. I see there's 4 stages that actually just have just a standard extra life thing. That man stage is so cool. Yeah, I feel it's pretty cool. Solar Power, Capital of Science, Master of Baseball. Rarely see a medieval... Yeah, you do! You don't! You don't see a medieval stage within the series. It just follows the same basic elements. Same basic playbook. Sorry. Each stage follows the same basic playbook. Elemental bots, fire, ice, ground, whatever, water, even that too. Maybe a few occasional quirky ones. Then there's the standard animal-based Robot Master. And that's about it. I feel there should at least be a bit more varied stages, which is what fan games come in handy for. Because the fans are more than willing and ready to carry on the torch that Capcom has not been doing lately. Oh, never mind. Thought I would be facing a mini-boss or something, that is my mistake. I'm thinking of the wrong stage, that is my bad. But yeah, more varied themes like this, please. This is good. This is pretty cool. Like, I feel a ghost-based Robot Master that lets you traverse through walls, become invincible to death traps is pretty cool. Also, Jet Mega Man, you can only shoot standard shots, and with both adapters, you cannot slide. Sliding is not an option, so because of that, you have to not slide and maneuver around that whole thing. And the Jet adapter is more like a double jump. Oh yeah, another life, that's pretty cool. Thank you, Eddie. Eddie, same old thing as last time, where you can just manipulate the room that you're going into until you get the item you want from him. As long as you didn't actually get the item itself, then you can cheese Eddie around to get the item that you want. And like that, I've got 5 E-Tanks. Although back at it with hand with the game of 6 overall, it's not tough. It really isn't all that tough of a game. I can see this being some people's favorite because of the variation in stages, bosses, all that jazz. And here we have a branching pathway. So what I will do, break down this pathway with the power adapter, and then head to Nightman. Fun fact! You can actually use the power adapter suit against Nightman to actually push him back. What Nightman does, he throws the mace, acts like a boomerang, which goes right back to him, and he jumps around. That's what he does. But yeah, with the power adapter suit, you can actually push Nightman back, regardless if he's jumping or on the ground. You can actually push him back, and it actually does damage, which is actually a nice Easter egg. Like that. But the thing is, you have to be careful with your shots, because the power adapter has a smaller range. Ahem. A few more shots. I feel like I can at least dodge some of what Nightman has to offer. Oh, but there we go. Yep. You can use his weakness, but the power adapter is pretty fun to use. And now we got our next weapon. The Night C and the Beat A parts. I don't know what C means, it probably means like nightclub, you just shoot a mace and it goes back at you or something. But Beat is within this game, and he functions the exact same way he does within 5. Sorry. Mega Man 5, I am very sorry about that. Although I kind of want to at least want to go with Yamato Man first. Let's go back. Master of the Spear, Yamato Man. And this time this is in Japan, if I'm not... Wow, I'm really confusing things up. Windman should be Japan, if I'm not mistaken? Let's see, over this time, Beat is weak, as he cannot be beat Wily Machine number 3. Yeah, it's a bit of a letdown, but at least it's something that you can get for chasing down all the Beat letters or ultimate pathways for the bosses. Let me look up something really quick, because I just want to at least double check. Mega Man 6, Windman Origin. Let's see. Oh, okay then. Windman, a Robot Master in 6, is thought to be based in China. Okay, so Windman is Chinese, Yamato Man is Japanese because of the swords and spears and whatnot. And Windman was originally created to work in agriculture, helping in harvest. Ooh, nice! Let me see something else here. See something else here. I can at least read off some of the other bot weapons, basically. with Blizzard Man, he was supposed to help with... Yep. He is supposed to monitor weather in the Antarctic, but later his equipment was exchanged for a machine to be able to produce artificial snow using humidity in the air. Okay. That's pretty cool. Let's see. Other bots to use and to look up. Flame Man. Let's see. Flame Man. He is... Okay, so he uses more thermal power as a energy source. Although it's outdated, it gives him more stability than those with solar power, which, yeah, is understandable. Let me see. Oh, I don't really see much for him for Flame Man for what he was beforehand. Let's see. Nightman. I'm very much sure it's British. Let's see. Flame Man. If I could at least look and see what the country he's from, that'd be pretty cool. Oh, here we are. Some theorize Flame Man to be Saudi Arabia because the oil industry and Saudi Arabia's role as the world's largest oil exporter. Yeah, that makes sense for Flame Man. It makes a lot more sense. Granted, for Flame Man as a whole. Let's see, Windman. I did Windman already. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plantman was supposed to be, if I'm not mistaken, Brazil, and he was more supposed to be for botany, given his name. But, like within Mega Man 1, stolen by the mysterious and evil Mr. X, to be used for serious purposes. And also, he's apparently said to be able to communicate with plants, so that's pretty cool. Seriously, what was that within the boss fight? Because all I got was just a Goober that just jumps around, throws a crappy shield, and I get a crappy shield. Seriously, I could have at least gotten a better looking shield. Or a better looking weapon. Just saying. Let me see anything else. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Plantman comes from Brazil, basically. And yeah, Windman is basically China. Windman is China, Yamato Man is Japan. I would say why not have a Ninja Man, but we already have that in the form of Shadow Man. So I guess there's that. Oh boy. Not what I wanted to do. Also within this game, Rush Jet and Coil are replaced by the Jet Adapter. Let's just go back up. Repeat. Go a little up. At the very least, I could aim at this bot's feet, because it still counts as me hitting the enemy, instead of having to wait for it to finish throwing the spear and whatnot. I have no lives left and 5 E-tanks. I can take care of this. Oh, damn it. Not what I wanted to do. There we go. Yes, but with what Yamatoman does, he shoots a few spears, whether within the air, or one that's towards you on the ground, and then he charges towards you. And there we go. Do a few more charged shots. And there we go. Oh, here we are. A bit more information about Plantman. He's believed to represent Brazil and the Amazon rainforest. Yep. Let's see. Plus his weapon. Hold on. Where the hell is that? Let's see. Yes, it's odd. Really? Oh, wait, hold on. Shoot. Never mind then. But I can find something else, but never mind. But, yeah. Yamatoman's weapon. Yeah, I'll at least show it off with him against Tomahawk Man. Okay, this is what Yamato Spear is. You can shoot a spear, but it costs 1 energy, bit of energy ammo per shot. And so just be aware of that. Also, for this boss, Tomahawk Man is based from America because of the Wild Wild West robots. But I'll be quite honest, I would actually prefer if it was a cowboy robot. You get the stereotypes of cowboys, but with it being cowboys and Indians, kinda dicey considering American history and Native Americans. Let's just be happy there was no lawsuits for insensitivity for Tomahawk Man. And as with the Night Sea, yep, you shoot the ball and it comes back to you. I don't really need that, so I'm going to cheese Eddie until I get something that is actually useful to me. Eating? Thank you, Eddie. You could either take... I don't know, I got one with Tomahawk Man, yeah. Different times. Times were different back then. Times were different. Times were very, very different. Let's see. Okay, I got 6 E-Tanks as of now. And if I'm not mistaken, the limit is 9 for this game. But I feel like 3, you don't really need a ton of E-Tanks unless you really suck at the game. Or if you're just reckless like me and want to go with a full Buster run. This mini-boss dispenses Matools, so just shoot it at the tip. And salute. 93 was a while ago, yeah. true, but, you know, different times and whatnot. Okay, with this spot, it's a bit difficult to both shoot at the block and jump across, because it's pretty tight. But it's all worth it. Because Protoman comes and gives us the energy equalizer or something like that. What it does, it's the same exact thing as from Mega Man 4 in the Game Boy, where the item with the lowest weapon energy is automatically restored, and you don't have to swap weapons, which is very, very helpful. And I only knew about that. I only knew about this by just exploring and knowing about the route ever since I was a kid and looking up cheat codes for this game. And now for the true challenging boss within this game, Tomahawk Man. Ow. Tomahawk Man launches tomahawks at you, and a series of 3 feathers which you can use to slide. Ow. Sadly, Tomahawk's weapon is this crappy shield, so we gotta make do. Where sunset is there and is such— oh yeah, I love that section too. I'm a sucker for sunsets. Like, I love me a good sunset, and if you make it a good sunset, I will gush over that damn thing. It is just so good looking to look at. It's so pretty. And so we're Tomahawk for our troubles. What we do, throw a Tomahawk, and it just goes up within a pattern. And last but not least, Centaur Man. Centaur Man, from my belief, is based on Greece. So the game actually does cover a good chunk of countries. Like, there's Saudi Arabia, Amazon Rainforest or Brazil, China, Japan, America, and all that sort. And also Greece, because of Centaur Man. Centaur Man stage is kind of an underwater stage. I say kinda because there's something going on later in the stage that I say kind of. But with underwater stages, it's the same exact thing. Your jump height is increased because of the water. Be careful to not touch the spikes, like that. Yeah, so just be careful to not touch the spikes, and then you'll be good. If I'll be honest, I kinda like Centaur Man as the stereotypical favorite bot from 6. And a second gimmick of this stage, the water from the ceiling is flipped. So you just do what your basic instincts tell you about water, but this time, instead of being at the bottom, it comes from the top. And if I'm not mistaken, Centaur Man messes with logic and reality or something like that. Which would be cool to see, but I guess not for your weapon. At the very least, I got some health pickups, energy, so that's cool. With these submarines, be a bit careful to shoot at them because the moment their cloud disappears, they drop down to the ground. And colliding into them causes you to get hurt. we just watch for those little jellyfish to come down. Then we make our way across. Screw it. Again, alternate pathways, depending on if you have the jet or power adapter. So, and we go with the Silver Tomahawk because that is Centaur Man's weakness. Centaur Man charges at you, he shoots a bullet that once it hits the wall, splits off into other shots. Come on, Centaur Man, do something different. Want to at least show to the audience of what you can do. There we go. There we go, times 2. What Centaur Man can do, he can teleport to other stages of the arena, or he can flash you, which freezes you. It's not really a time stop, per se, but it's pretty damn effective for what Centaur Man can do. From the comics, Centaur Man was female. If I'm not mistaken, that was actually in the manga. Yeah, that was more so within the manga, other than everything else. Yeah, that was just the manga for Centaur Man. Because if I'm not mistaken... Yeah. If I'm not mistaken for Centaur Man, that's only within the comics, and he's only referred to as male everywhere else. Because that's the only depiction of female Centaur Man that I can at least think of. Like, just the manga, everywhere else just refers to him as Centaur Man. C-Flash and beat T-Ports. Centaur Flash, Screen Nuke Flash. It's not a time stop, but it is a powerful flash. It's a weapon ammo and everything else in between. And now that we've beaten all 8 bots, it is time to take the fight to Mr. X. But that'll be for next time, because I feel we've done at least enough for today. We've beaten Mega Man 4 in the Game Boy, and basically beat through the 8 main bosses of Mega Man 6. So I feel this is a good place to stop here, and a good place to start for next part. Because next time we will be taking on the Mr. X stages and taking the fight to the man himself. This has been Helfwood DV93, Happy New Year, and I will see you all later.